we come to the shapeshifter. So the shapeshifter is the voice of mystery in our levels. In stories, the shapeshifter is often portrayed by someone who is the opposite sex of the main protagonist. These questions sort of pop up. Do they love us? Will they break our hearts? Whose side are they really on? Can we trust them? So in some ways, the voice of the shapeshifter is similar to the trickster, and a lot of it sort of comes down to subtlety. While the voice of the trickster is sort of mischief, the shapeshifter is more indifferent to the hero's struggles. They have their own. The trickster voice has its own motivations, but what those are is sort of hidden from you. This comes through a lot in sort of the portrayal of nature in our levels. Nature has no dice in our game, or no, it's indifferent to our struggle. It blocks our view. It obscures things. Woods, ambient animal life, deer running around, or a wolf running around. A wolf could be. It could be benign, or it could be actually something that actually attacks you. So we don't even know. They don't stand out as enemies, but we're not really sure. And the same thing goes for sort of water spaces, and this kind of fits in with the sort of natural. But water is something that's always changing, and it's hard to see below the surface. There could be something under there that's hidden. It's a sense of mystery. The same water that you drink in order to give you life can also be used to drown you. A river can act as a path through the woods, but it's important to remember it's a path that no one created. The designer created it, I suppose, if it's in a game. But unlike a road or a path, there's no. This is a path essentially that no one has created, and there's no intended destination. So by following it, you may get to somewhere interesting, or you may just get lost. It can't really be trusted. More sense of mystery. What are you going to find by reaching this sort of out of context object, or why is this car stopped here? It just sort of brings up sort of basically the voice of the shapeshifter is the voice of question, the voice that in some respects, in addition to reward, really draws us through space, because we want to solve mysteries. So in a lot of cases, like in games, you have things like this where it's like, obviously someone built this railroad at some point, but now it's fallen out of use. Why? How did they use it? Who used it? Why did it fall out of use? What are we going to find if we follow this path? Is it something interesting? Is it something that's going to uncover why it's been abandoned? An odd thing in an odd situation. Why is this plane just in the middle of the desert? Did it crash? Did it just land here and was slowly sort of taken apart or falling apart? Things don't belong. Things that beg the question of why is it that shape? These are the things that the voice of mystery does for us as designers. This also sort of fits with sense of obfuscation. So when you have a space where you're trying to obscure the path and the eventual goal, this is the voice of mystery and drawing us through this space, and a lot of there's a lot of satisfaction to solving mystery. So mystery drawing us through the space, and I kind of showed this even at the start of my labyrinth sort of space. I kind of wanted to entice you with a sense of mystery from the very start. You were going into a space that you couldn't trust and you didn't understand. Here's a case where in my town I created something that seemed a little bit off, a little bit like there was something more to find out about it, and if you observe it, if you see it, and explore, you can find out that there's actually a second opening over there. Here's another case where I created a nice little pass-through here, and I made it nice and small so it feels like it's almost kind of like trying to be hidden from you. I'm trying to hide something from you, and then I put this tree behind here enticing you forward. So it's just like, you sort of get the sense when someone is trying to hide something from you that it's something worth finding. So it draws the player to it. In some cases, mystery is just kind of fun for mystery's sake. So in this case right here, I've got this hole right here with a tree back here that you can't actually even get to. So sometimes there is there's no payoff to that mystery, and as long as we're not sort of like taunting the player too much, it's forgivable, because much life, like I said, sometimes the voice of the shapeshifter can feel like a trickster, feel like mischief. But in this case, maybe this is, if I don't tease a reward back here, that I'm not promising a reward. All I am is creating a question right here, and it may be a question that does not have an answer, and that's actually kind of a good thing to have in your levels.